Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Moment in Time with Taylor. I am here with another friend, split screen, hidden behind my mysterious curtain of technology. It's not really that mysterious. I have a replay that shows you exactly how to do this if you want to do this on your channel. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Raven. And before I bring him on, I just quickly want to say thank you, 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 thank you to every single person on this list supporting the channel. Hey, N2, hey, Gio, hey, Niklas. This channel, as you can see, is 100% viewer funded, and every little bit does help a lot. So you can sponsor at the website there, or you can sponsor with Super Hearts. I am a super broadcaster, and I very much appreciate every single one of you for being here and following me. You know, it doesn't have to be financial the way that you support the channel. So, Al, if you're ready, I'm going to bring you on. All right, 5, 4, 3, two, don't be nervous, one, blast off. So if this is anyone's first split screen, he can see everything on a little bit of a delay. He can't actually see me, he can only hear me, and he's in a public place and everyone around him can also hear me.
Well, yeah, it's not that loud, so probably can't hear, but
Okay.
hello. Well,
Yes. So how long have
welcome
you
to.
been periscoping?
Well, I first started back in July of 2015. So, yeah, over 2 years now. It's been good. How about you?
I've been here just since January of this year, January 5th. So I just celebrated my 10-month anniversary.
Wow. All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for inviting your followers, Nikki. So what got you on Periscope? How did you find it? What's your beginning story?
Nice story. Yeah. Um. So, yeah, well, let me start from the beginning, I guess. When I came to Japan, I started out teaching English, as a lot of people do. Um, After I finished the school I was at, I wanted to kind of continue that type of teaching through just online ways. So I was considering YouTube, but I thought I was really into podcasts. I started doing a podcast, and that became somewhat popular. And then I decided, hey, Periscope is just kind of a live extension of the podcast. So actually, it was a different account. It was not this actual account. It was a different account that I started Periscoping on. And I started just walking around Tokyo doing English lessons. And I would get lots of comments from people, obviously, who weren't learning English. They just wanted to know about Japan and Tokyo. And so I was like, okay, I better start another channel and dedicate it to Tokyo and living here and all that great stuff that other people want to know about. So I actually have two channels now.
Nice. What's the topic of the other channel? What were your podcasts about? Or do you still do podcasts?
I do them not as much as before, but the podcast is called the English 2.0 podcast. It's just for students who are learning English. And the channel is called at Al Sensei.
Al
So,
Sensei?
and Sensei, the Japanese term for teacher.
Yes, I love that. Some of my viewers call me Sensei because I'm a yoga teacher.
Not
So some people say that the audio is a little quiet. I tried to turn it up. Hopefully it's good now. For anyone who's just joining us, this is Al. He is tuning in live from the future, right? What day is it there?
yeah. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to get the microphone working. It didn't work. But yeah, it is future. It is Thursday afternoon. It's just after 1.
So
So,
it's
yeah,
Thursday at 1 p.m. or 1:08.
right.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. How many hours ahead of that? You're what, 14 hours ahead of us?
Now 14, yes.
And
That's right.
here in New York, and in California it's 17. Oh my gosh. That's insane.
Right.
And
Yep. And yeah, more than that in Hawaii.
yeah, exactly. Yes, I was in Hawaii not that long ago. I feel like I was close to you then, though. It's surprisingly close to Japan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's closer. It's still about an 8-hour flight from here, but yeah, closer for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Closer than I've ever been. That's a good way to put it.
Right, right.
Nicholas wants to know if the world ends in the future.
well, I'm still here. So as far as you might want to text Louise in New Zealand or any scopers in Guam. They might have the early take on things, but so far we're doing okay here.
Nice. Well, that's good. It looks like a beautiful day. What's the weather there?
It's a perfect day. Yeah, it was amazing. I stepped out of the house this morning, and I noticed that I had a beautiful view of Mount Fuji. I did a little private scope just for like 2 minutes just to show people. It was gorgeous, and yeah, perfect day today.
Oh, that's awesome. What season is it there?
Well, it is autumn. They follow the same seasons, but
Yeah.
yes, I'm from Minnesota originally, so it's not as cold as Minnesota, but I imagine it's pretty cold where you are as well.
Yeah, it's too cold. I just got back from visiting Florida, and as soon as I got off the plane, I was like, I'm ready to go back to Florida, actually.
Right, exactly.
Someone just came in. Gio says that, wait, what was it? How did he say it? Crap, was it Yukiyama? I'm sorry. Wait, I'm scrolling back. Scrolling. Fujiyama is beautiful.
Yes, so it's Yama is the word for mountain, although
Oh.
in Japanese they would call it Fuji-san. So Fuji-san, san is another word for mountain. So
Oh, isn't san also a word for addressing a person?
yes, exactly. I think they're technically different, but yes, it's the same pronunciation. That's right.
What does it mean with people?
Yeah, it's just like a formal or respectful way of saying someone's name. So I
Interesting.
don't, yeah, I don't like to make this equivalency, but you could say it's similar. It's like Mister or Mrs. or something. It's not exactly the same, but it's kind of a sign of respect.
Okay. I thought it meant like a little, like a person who's like either new to something or young. What am I thinking of? Knee or something like that? Or is there just nothing?
Uh, well, there are terms that are used for kids, or just kind of terms of endearment. Like there's instead of san, you have chan, which is for kids or girls, and then you have kun, which is for boys. So I'm not sure if that's what you were thinking.
Okay. Yeah, I used to watch some anime when I was growing up and we would watch it in Japanese and just read all the subtitles in English.
Right.
So I made my own rules in my head of what those things meant, but I'm pretty sure I was wrong. Thank you,
Sure.
Scott, for the super hearts. Hey, David, welcome. Welcome, everyone who's just joining us. Definitely give him a follow. Oh, Al, if you're watching the scope, can you comment? Are you watching the scope right now?
Yes, I am.
Cool.
It's
Yeah, if you
fine.
comment that way, people can follow you more easily if they're just joining. Hey, Steven. What does Ohio mean in Japanese? What? Ohio?
Well, yeah, it's not written that way, but yeah, you would say Ohio, which is good morning, or Ohio gozaimasu, which would be the full formal way to say good morning.
Oh, that's funny. Ohio. We'll have to tell Nick that one. He's from Ohio. Hello, everyone. Hey, Russ. Oh, Russell's in Minnesota. He says, hey.
Hey, what up, Minnesota? Skol Vikings.
Hey, Linda. You followed him into here? Well, good. Thank you. I didn't see you invite your followers out. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I have a cold, so I'm a little bit out of it. I'm a little foggy, but that's okay because we're just going to let Al take over and I'm just going to take a nap over here in the corner. No, just
Well,
kidding.
if there's anyone from my scopes, they know I'm struggling with my throat as well, so I got to keep drinking the coffee here.
Yeah, I know. I had, I think, 4 glasses of tea in the past 24 hours. Oh, Steven, how do you know every language? The other day, Steven was speaking Arabic. Now he says, Ginki deska?
Ah, Genki desu yo? Genki desu ka? Is yeah, just simply like how are you or how's it going, that kind of thing.
Okay, nice. Oh, thanks, Russell. That's nice.
We
Um,
have scholars here. Great.
right? Yeah. Nicholas wants to know if you're going to teach us yoga.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'll leave that up to you. If you want to learn Japanese, I can help you there. But yoga, that's a bit out of my league.
No. Have you ever done yoga?
No, I haven't. I have not. So I'll have to join your yoga scope.
There we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to get Al to start doing some yoga scopes. We need guys to do yoga on Periscope. It's only girls.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, Linda. They want to know if we've tried lemon and honey with warm water.
um, yeah, I had green tea one day. Yeah, I had a honey latte somewhere, so that's about as close as I got.
A honey latte. It's like the opposite.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know. You might be seeing some of these comments, so feel free to just talk over me here. But Steven says, Genki does arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you.
Gozaimasu. And then David said that you're more of a Pilates guy.
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you what the difference is.
They want to know if you have baseball in Japan.
Yeah, baseball's pretty popular, and the season pretty much follows the major league. And they just wrapped up the Japan series, um, which was won by the SoftBank Hawks down in Kyushu. Um, they faced off against my hometown Yokohama Bay Stars, so unfortunately the Bay Stars didn't make it. I don't watch a lot of baseball, to be honest, but I just knew the results.
Yeah, I'm not really big into sports myself, but I'm glad that you knew the answer to the question.
Yeah, I have been to a few baseball games. Both, well, every time it was in Yokohama. But yeah, Yokohama is a good stadium. It's outdoor. A lot of the Japanese stadiums are domes, and I'm guessing it's because of the rainy season, and they would have to Fukuoka. That's right. Yeah, they would have to probably postpone a lot of games or just play in the rain. So I guess that's why they have a lot of domes. But yeah, when you have an outdoor stadium, yeah, take advantage, certainly.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Samuel. Awesome. What was that?
I just thanks Samuel.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes. T-Cats wanted to know if I checked my Bitcoin because he sent me Bitcoin actually to sponsor the channel, and he sent me $50 worth of Bitcoin months ago, and it's now worth $171. So thank you, T-Cats. You're the only sponsor that has your sponsorship has grown over time by over 300% at that.
All right. Well, nice donation in Bitcoin. Awesome.
Right? Yeah. So what about you? How do you feel about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin?
Yeah. Well, I did a scope on it actually. I don't know, probably about a month or a month and a half ago, and my stance. I mean, it's not necessarily in the investment aspect, but more of the technology. So yeah, I'm a big supporter of cryptocurrencies, just for what they mean to society. I mean, just, and I think we might hope to get into this later, but I think we're both on the same page politically. I think so. You know, we live in free transactions, free market transactions. So if you voluntarily get into a transaction with someone else, it's a voluntary exchange. There should no third party has a right to interfere with that transaction. So hey, if you can exchange cryptocurrencies without a central agency or central authority sticking their hand into the pot, hey, wonderful, love that.
Exactly. I totally agree. Someone wants to know if you're in Japan right now. You're in Osaka, right?
I'm in Tokyo right now. The Osaka trip. If you want, I can pan around a little bit, but I'm at Starbucks, so it's yeah.
It's the true heart of Tokyo right there, right? Where all the tourists go to the Starbucks.
There are thousands of Starbucks here, but yeah, I am in Ginza, which is the heart of the shopping. It's kind of like the Fifth Avenue of Tokyo, so I'm right in the heart of Tokyo.
Nice. Very nice. Let's see. And just tell me if any of the Japanese comments are something I should be blocking. Just tell me because I can't read them.
Okay.
But Director Boy wants to know if Godzilla is still on the loose.
He is, yes. I've scoped him quite a few times. He's in Shinjuku. It's right coming out on top of the building there.
There you go. See? Yep, he's still on the loose. Oh, okay, so Steven mentioned this. His friend started DOS Coin, and he talked about this the other day, and he said they're doing very well in Japan right now.
DOS, I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with Dash. Is that different?
I'm not familiar with either of them. I'm just gonna lean off camera over here and blow my nose a little bit. Okay, so sorry, I'm a little bit sick. What were we just talking about? We were talking about Bitcoin. People are asking, what is Bitcoin? If you Google it, you can find out a lot of information. I have done a broadcast about it not too long ago. Hey there, Steve. Thanks for coming in. Chicago in the house. Hey, Mike. Welcome back. Lamparito. Hello. Get EOS. So what is that, TCATS? Now, I will say to everyone in the room, TCATS 404 is the first person that pretty much turned me on to cryptocurrency, and he's very persistent. He was like, no, I'm not going to let you put this off and procrastinate it. You're getting Bitcoin. It's happening. And he's the one that sent the Bitcoin to me, and now it's up 300% plus. Thanks to the Super Hearts, Mike and Asif and Lamparito. You guys are awesome. Make sure you're following Al. Al, we have some new people if you want to comment again. Anytime you think of it, like every few minutes, if you want to just comment so that they can follow you more easily. Oh, Ramune! I had Ramune before. Oh my god, so many memories right now. Wait, what's
Probably.
Leche?
Yeah. Pokemon Go. Yeah. It's not as popular as it was when it first came out, but yeah, I do have clients and students that are still playing it. So yeah, it's still it's it's not as much as before, but yes, people are still playing it.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. What is Ramune? It's a drink, right? I'm pretty sure I had this before.
Yeah, it's kind of like a very traditional Japanese. It's basically like a soda that's it's kind of like Sprite without the citrus. So it's just more sweet rather than sour.
Yeah, I remember having that as a kid at my friend's house because that's where I would watch all the anime as well because her older brother was totally into it, totally turned us on to it. What was isn't there is leche like a flavor? It's like I'm not talking about the Spanish word for milk. I'm talking about the fruit. I might not be saying it right. Lychee?
Oh, lychee.
Lychee.
Lychee, yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah, it's a type of fruit. Is it Japanese or is it Chinese? I don't know where it's from, but yeah, it's just a type of fruit.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's not an alcoholic drink, Mike. It's a soda. It's like ether, but faster and smaller. Okay, they're still talking about cryptocurrency. What were you gonna say?
Oh, and lychee has been made into an alcohol. It's there's one called I think it's called Vita or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of a lychee alcohol.
I love how they're just like, oh, of course Taylor knows what the drink is. It's like, no, it's just soda. It was from being a kid. I remember it had like a marble in the top, and you push the marble in.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Oh my God, I'm remembering this. I feel like I need to go find one at like a local Asian market or something like that. I missed some questions. They were good ones. I'm going to just totally change the subject because I don't remember what they were. But I got a bunch of books today, and today it's November. In America, that means, as you know, Thanksgiving is coming up. So I'm trying to say
Right.
something I'm grateful for every single day. You're welcome to come up with something here as well if you'd like. But today I got a big old package in the mail from one of my sponsors who is from Quebec, and now he's in America. And he sent me two copies of this book here, which is 100 Best Ways to Stay Young. So we'll see. Oh, yeah, it was you, Lamparito. Hang on, sorry, pause. Lamparito wanted to know how does she get Bitcoin. So if you just go online, you can look at different wallets. I use Blockchain wallet. It's actually called blockchain.com, I want to say. How about you, Al? I forget, did you say you had it?
I don't have much, but the wallet I use is called Exodus.
Okay.
So yeah, or
Yes.
yeah, I guess. And you need lots of different wallets for all the different crypto if you're going to get different types of crypto. But you can start there, yeah.
Thank you, Vito, for all the super hearts. This is Al. He's in Tokyo, and he's really cool. He's into a lot of the same concepts that we are into here, or I am into. I can't speak for you guys. Yep, get an address, hook up your bank. Yeah, you just need like that wallet address so people can so you can basically use that for transactions. And then you can buy it, right? Like you would buy any stock, I think, right? Or no? No, it's separate, right? I don't know because he sent it to me. I haven't bought any yet. You have to, TCATS, can you do a scope, say, walking us through step by step exactly how to get Bitcoin? That way we can come watch it because I'm thinking about maybe getting more in like a week or less. Thank you. He said, yep. Yay, everyone follow him too. Follow Al,
Okay.
follow TCATS. We got great minds in the house. I'm going back to the books. So, these, I haven't read these. I can't suggest them yet, but there are 2 copies. So, if I like it or not, I can give away at least one of them for a giveaway in the future. And he got me this book as well, just called Yoga Girl by Rachel Bravin. Awesome photos in here, full color images. Love, 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 love. And this one called Keep Your Brain Young. Apparently, Francois is worried about me aging. Everything's about staying young. And the last but not least, maple syrup from Quebec, Canada, in a can. I have never seen this in a can. This is totally not related to Al, but I just felt like I should show it. Oh, wait, that's in French. There we go. There's the English. Because this all came from Francois. So today, I am grateful for Francois and French Canada. And if you know, when I traveled to French Canada, I did not have a good time. Have you ever been to Canada, Al?
Yeah, I have a few times. So I basically I did a family trip when I was younger. We drove up through northern Minnesota, up through Duluth, through Superior, and into Canada at about Thunder Bay. If people are familiar with that, Ontario. Just basically camping and stopping all the way across Canada, and we came in through Ottawa and probably northern New York. That's right, maybe your area.
Probably.
I remember, Plattsburgh. I remember that city name.
Yep.
So yeah, and Toronto, and then I did a trip to Vancouver and Victoria.
Awesome. What did you think? What was your favorite part of Canada and your least favorite part?
uh, well, yeah, I think just in terms of the city and the beauty, I think Vancouver, Victoria were quite impressive. I really enjoyed them. Toronto was interesting as well. I don't know. I just have some bad memories of Sudbury, driving through that part of the country. It just wasn't pleasant. But I was quite young, so yeah, I don't really recall exactly why I had the bad vibes there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because you were young. Yeah, I didn't have a great time in Canada myself. Everyone spoke French, and I was having a really hard time navigating, and I had no cell signal or Wi-Fi, and it was like, whew, never had that happen before. That was the only time I've ever left the country as well, and I was like, that was scary. But now I know to be more prepared next
Yeah.
time. So, do you mainly just travel around Japan, or do you do other travel scopes to other countries and stuff like that?
Well, I used to travel quite a bit more. Recently, it's been more around Japan, and so basically, I did a lot of traveling before I started Scope, just by um, and since I've been on Scope, yeah, it's been I've done a couple of trips to Okinawa, the Southern Islands, just to the Izu Peninsula, which is not too far from here. I'm sure people here are familiar with the hot spring resorts, which are beautiful down there. And the trip I just made was to Kyoto and, well, mainly Kyoto, but Osaka as well. Actually, that was I was leading a tour, leading some people on a tour down there. So a little bit different than my day job, but it was fun, and I think they enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, so mostly here, or I went to Taiwan, Taipei. Have been to Thailand? Yes, love Thailand. Actually, my mom is from Thailand, so I have some family in Thailand. Absolutely love Thailand. I love Southeast Asia. It's one of my favorite places to travel.
That's awesome. One of my friends who's actually from this area in New York, she went to Thailand, I think last year or the year before. She said she would highly recommends everyone goes there. It was just, she absolutely
Yeah.
loved it. She loved it so much. I like pad thai.
Right.
That's the closest I've gotten to Thailand.
Yeah. Do you cook pad thai?
I haven't before, but I do need to get my friend's recipe because she makes the best, like way better than any restaurant you'll ever find. It's just so,
All right.
oh, So good. I'll have to get her to come on Scope and teach us all how to make it or something. There we
All
go.
right.
Somebody write that down.
I've been known to make a mean pad thai myself. It's a
All
good
right.
job.
Well, if it will keep when you ship it to New York, go ahead and send me some.
All right. Yeah. Just send me some Mexican food. It's hard to find here.
Oh yeah, everyone's like, what is pad thai? So pad thai is like a flat rice noodle, and it's gonna be different depending on what people put in it. But the common denominator is it's like a peanut sauce, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I definitely don't know for sure, but there, my friend puts a bunch of different vegetables and chicken in it in the noodles, and it's got a kick to it. She puts like those red chilies in the sauce too, and it's so good, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the key or the secret ingredient is the tamarind paste or the tamarind and
Oh.
lime. So yeah, that gives it a nice flavor. And I think they use palm sugar, and yeah, that makes a really good blend, good taste.
Nice. There we go. So he actually knows how to make it, so he knows more what's actually in it. My friend, I think she crushes up peanuts to put in there. And she uses peanut butter, I think.
But yeah, definitely peanuts. You can use peanut oil to cook it.
Okay. Um, so what else was I gonna ask? What are some of your favorite books? You like to read, right?
Yeah, I've been getting more into podcasts lately. So to be honest, I haven't read a lot lately. But yeah, yeah, some of the books in terms of nonfiction, um, I, the three that I always say are my kind of cornerstones are so the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. That's by Stephen Covey. I'm sure people have heard of that. Kind of really straightforward, but love that book as kind of a um, just to help you kind of get a framework on your kind of self, your what am I trying to say, your own goals and things like that, your principles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Second, I would say Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh,
That was a life changer for me, and I know it's been influential to a lot of people out there. Um, so Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then the third one and the trifecta I would say is 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss.
yes. That one
I
is
need to
so
reread it.
good.
Yeah, it's really good. So
It's
those are the
jam
three.
packed. Sorry.
What's that?
I was just gonna say it's jam packed with resources in there. 4 Hour Work Week. It's not just like here's what you should do. Find some resources. No, it's like they have everything like websites, places you can find virtual assistants, ways to save on travel. I mean, just like all over the map. And ways to improve your lifestyle and spend and really maximize the time you spend working. So it's not about working 4 hours a week unless that's your real goal, which most entrepreneurs typically like they would go crazy if they only worked 4 hours a week. But it's that you can get your highest level, most important things done probably in about 4 hours, and to really be efficient with your time and maximize your time. I haven't read it in a while myself, but yeah, that is an excellent one. Graham Wyatt says, begin with the end in mind. Yes, that's one of the 7 habits. And
Right.
Steven said, tamarind is also the secret ingredient in Coke.
I don't know about that, but
I don't either. That's
um,
interesting.
yeah, um, yeah. Going also back to 4 Hour, I think also one of the key things that really resonated with me was just the concept of lifestyle design and how you know, Lane, hello,
Eileen.
how it's we, I guess in the West or in let's talk about in America. So in America, and you're kind of trained. I don't know. I'll say we'll use the word trained to kind of think in this really straight road. So you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you work,
Mm-hmm.
and then you retire at 65 or whatever, and then you're done. So that always seemed really strange to me. It always seemed odd to me. Like, why is that the way? And I always kind of questioned that from an early age. And when I read 4 Hours, like, yes, this guy is speaking my language. Because, yeah, what if you want to, what if you want to go backpacking across Southeast Asia? You can't do that when you're 70 and in a wheelchair. So
Hmm.
why not do it when you're young and figure out ways to support that lifestyle? So again,
Exactly.
everyone has their own preferences and ways they're going to live their life. So of course, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but at least there's an alternative for people, at least another way of thinking about life or lifestyle rather than, okay, you got to go through this pattern.
Yeah, like the set path. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I want to piggyback on that and just say that a lot of, especially if you're a young person watching this and you are thinking about going to college for something like, I don't know, business administration or something where you don't need a degree, like individual studies or something like that, I would really strongly urge you to consider working, trying some different jobs that you might like, and see what you actually like. And if you have to specialize and have to pay a massive amount of money to a college for a degree, because in some cases the law does require that, like to be a lawyer or a doctor, but a lot of things it doesn't require that, like being an entrepreneur. And then I want to say hola to Judy. And Graham Wyatt said that we're trained for slavery, which is pretty heavy. And I would say that, I mean, slavery is kind of a tough word. Thank you for the super hearts, Mary. I would say that you're definitely you're not trained to be an independent thinker. I guess I would put it like that. You're trained to kind of go with what so as far as public schools I'm talking about, they want you to continue to vote for what they want, like bigger government and more social programs, to save the world. When I think that the evidence shows that that does not save the world, that it could actually be harming the world in a pretty big way. If you disagree, please feel free to bring that up. Yeah, Graham. Actually, there's a good quote about currency, since we've been talking about currency and slavery, and they say that gold is the currency of kings, silver is the currency of merchants, and debt is the currency of slaves. So if you're in debt and somebody owns you because you're in debt to them, then that is pretty equivalent of being a slave or like an indentured servant at the very least. Um, you think the free market empowers people. I agree with you, Graham Wyatt. Are you one of Al's friends? How did you find us? You seem like you fit in.
Yeah, it's just that well, I mean, this could knock off a huge debate, but it's also the most moral. It's effective, but it is the moral way of living, and I will state that clearly here.
You're
So maybe
breaking up
some arguments.
you broke up a little bit. Like your video's glitching a little, and then I missed some of those words that you said. Something about moral something.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Basically, when people say free market, see, I think it's kind of the term has been a bit. There's a lot of ideas that now fit into the term. So just to you know because when some people think of free market, they think, okay, well, it's America, but actually, the way that probably you and I talk about free market, it's not America because there is a lot of governmental interference and regulation into the market, and they control the currency, and that means it's not a free market. So in a true free market, all we're talking about is voluntary exchange. Keep, voluntary exchange, do not initiate force, and keep your contracts, and that's basically what free market means. And so
Exactly.
it's, if you want to call that empowering, that you can. I think it's just moral.
I totally agree. Are you a fan of Ayn Rand's?
I mean, I know a lot about her. I've read her books, but I definitely know a lot about her. So they're on my list for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, she has a really short book. It's right on my bookshelf over there, but I'm plugged into you, so I'm not going to grab it. But it's called The Virtue of Selfishness, It's her
Right.
shortest one. I mean, you've seen the Atlas Shrugged book and her Fountainhead book. They're massive, like 1,000-page books. But The Virtue of Selfishness is like, I don't know, like 100 pages, maybe not even, definitely less than 200. And it talks about her philosophy of objectivist ethics. And it sounds similar to what you're talking about, which is that you have to be objective. You can't use emotion when you're figuring out what is moral, because you have to be able to apply it universally to everyone in the society.
Right.
And yes, Vito, I have bought and sold gold in the past. Actually, I don't think I've ever sold any. I think I've only bought some. Free market only exists outside of government influence. Exactly, Stephen. Yeah, and I'll put it perfectly. I mean, I feel like I can't even add anything to what he said because it's so good.
Well, it's just I think the foundation is just what police states that do not initiate force or do not initiate fraud against another human being, and it's just that simple.
Exactly. So the main thing there that we're saying that there's a lot of governmental involvement with the market here is that in one way, the initiation of force is hugely demonstrated is through taxation. So having to pay tax on an income, when you for making money, why should you have to pay the government for you making money unless they have an unsustainable business model themselves and they need all the extra money they can get to throw at their plunging black hole of debt.
Right. Now
And
I
then
do
go ahead.
yeah, I do a lot of private lessons now. This is students who want English lessons, and yeah, it's all cash transaction. They can trade in crypto if they want, but yeah, it's just cash, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the super hard sneezy. Some
If anyone
people, go ahead.
if anyone would argue that some of that should be taken by the state, then make that argument. But I'm you'll have to persuade me that taxation is not that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it's one thing if it's a voluntary, oh hey, here's our fund for the public schools. Do you want to pay us? Do you want to pay for that? Do you want to cast your vote financially for that? And you have the choice, that's one thing. But when you're forced because you bought a house in a certain area, you're forced to pay the school taxes there, regardless of if you have kids or if you even support that school system. And then the alternative is if you don't do that, then you could actually end up in jail and you could actually end up dying in prison like Erwin Schiff for not paying taxes, which isn't even potentially shouldn't even be legal in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just a sad story all around. I mean, don't have to get into the details, but yeah, it's just awful.
Yeah, and I'm going to be reading Atlas Shrugged right after this broadcast, so if you guys want to learn a little more about Ayn Rand, I do whisper it, and if that creeps you out, that's okay. Whispers scare a lot of people. You can just Google it, and you can find a lot of awesome information, and she's on Twitter as well. I mean, she's not alive, but she has people representing her on Twitter. Hey, Sage.
Whispering scares people. What?
Yeah, I think they use whispering in a lot of scary movies and stuff. I've been analyzing this, like, because sometimes people will come in, they're like, "This is so scary. This creeps me out. Like, I'm so scared of this," and I'm just like, "Why?" But I think in some people, I think that life is so loud and just so crazy and hectic all the time that it's like a shock to their system to have to really quiet down and listen to somebody whispering.
Hmm.
Hey, Sage. Yeah, I hope that it puts people to bed. That's the intention, but some people get really freaked out. Like you guys might know Katie. If you whisper her name, she will freak out. She does not like that at all. Silence bothers people. It does sometimes. And Flyers, you wanted us to talk about Bitcoin. We actually did right in the beginning of the broadcast. So if you want to catch the replay, I would very much appreciate that. I've also done some scopes about Bitcoin in the past. And if TCAT's 404 is still in the house, he's going to do one teaching you exactly how to purchase Bitcoin, which I've never done myself. So I'm glad that he was here to kind of pass the torch to on that
Yeah,
question.
I'll definitely be watching that one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Director Boy. I appreciate that. He says this is one of the most intelligent scopes he's ever seen. There you
Excellent.
go.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the questions. Somebody asked earlier, a long time ago, if I'd been to Hokkaido, which is the northern island. Sorry, if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my other device for the questions here. Um, yeah, yeah, I have been to Hokkaido. I went there once, and it's lovely. It's beautiful. It's probably the climate is more similar to that of Minnesota and northern New York. So very cold in winter. They do have a beautiful snow festival in February. I haven't been there, but I've heard it's really nice. And I was there in the summer, so it was really good. Highly recommend Hokkaido.
Awesome. Definitely follow him for travel scopes all around Japan. You can learn different parts of the language, different parts of the country. There's so much more than Tokyo, you know. That's really cool. Sneezy is asking about the colored hearts. It's hashtag love for the rainbow hearts there on the side. If you put hashtag love in your broadcast title, you'll get the rainbow hearts, and then hashtag Thor Ragnarok to get the Thor hammers. Oh crap, someone told me the name of the hammer, but I already forgot. Weebladin or something like that. Bobby Vicker says you're great. Hi, Bobby. Do you hear me?
Thank you.
Yes, okay.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. You have to feed your dogs. Okay. High-speed trains in Japan, the cost and that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just took it. So every train ride in Japan, regular or the high speed, which is called the Shinkansen, the bullet train, is based on distance. So it depends how far you're going. Just to give you an idea, a trip from Tokyo to Kyoto, which I just made, is about 13,000 yen one way, which is about 125 US or 120 US.
Whoa.
One way. Now, if you are planning a trip to Tokyo, you can get a rail pass. So you can get them in like 7-day increments. So you can get like a 7-day pass, 14-day pass, 21-day pass, depending on how long you'll be here. The 7-day pass, you just have to check with the travel agency. But it is worth it. If you're going to make a trip to Kyoto, it is worth it to get the pass. If you're going to stay in Tokyo, it's probably not worth it.
That's very good advice.
And you know what? If you use Snapchat, you know that thing that gives you the speed, right? So I did a picture on Snapchat as I was on the bullet train, and it clocked it at 175 miles per hour, and that's I think 280 kilo per hour. So that's the speed of the bullet train.
Nice, very fun. I actually didn't know anything about that, so I just learned a whole new thing here. And let me just quickly answer Sneezy. The hashtag love, it has to go in the title of your Periscope broadcast. It's nothing to do with Google. Yeah, Wendy said, wow. Excuse me. You mentioned your day job earlier. Is that you still teach English or?
Oh yeah, did I mention that? Yeah, well, I guess I do a lot of things, but my main thing is that I am, I guess you could call it a corporate trainer. So I go to different companies and kind of train or teach the business people here how to do business around the world. So, or with people from around the world. So yeah, a lot of it is language training. A lot of it is intercultural exercises. We do how to do presentations, kind of Western style presentations, how to negotiate, how to conduct meetings, how to talk on the telephone, how to write emails. I mean, all that kind of stuff, anything business related. I do teach English at a university as well. I do that twice a week. And I do private lessons too. So, and then I just started being a tour guide. So doing lots of things.
Nice, and you're a live broadcaster.
Kylo, first time, welcome.
Hi, Kylo. He's in Tokyo. And then City Cynic from Los Angeles wants to know, how do you keep the employees' attention?
How do I keep? Maybe I don't follow. How do I keep their attention?
Maybe he's having trouble getting his employees to pay attention to his training. I'm not sure. I'm totally interpreting what he's asking. It's probably a matter of
Thanks.
mindset.
Yeah, Kylo, right? What the university I teach academic English at university. Employees' attention. Well, it's kind of like a class. So they come as part of their job basically. They come to get trained. It's like a training program. So I don't know. A lot of them are just motivated because they want to improve themselves. Other than that, I'm not. If that's not the question, I'm not following.
I think that was good. He said, sorry, I'll try better questions. You're awesome, City Cynic. We're just glad that you're here. I think
Yeah,
that can be a good question for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially someone just starting out with like one employee or something. They might be having a hard time with kind of keeping attention, I would imagine.
yeah. My personal view is, as long as, well, pretty much in any case. I mean, if they want to learn, then they're gonna learn and participate. If they don't, it's their choice. I mean, I don't view it as my job as I have to get everybody participating, actively at all times. I mean, yeah, it's nice to be able to have an influence in everyone, but it's a lot just through the content and perhaps the presenter as well. But any like techniques, I don't know. I just be myself, and that's about. I've kind of refined what I do over the years, so I guess I've gotten better in that way.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Kylo and Bobby and Steven for the blessings. Like I said, I have a cold. Oh, what was I just going to say? Oh, it is almost 2 p.m. where he is in Tokyo, and it's a beautiful day. And he did a scope right before this. Oh, no, it's private. Just kidding. You can't see it.
Well, yeah, it was when I left the house this morning, but yeah, I've done many scopes on Mount Fuji, or not on Mount Fuji, but showing Mount Fuji from where I live. And so just go through the replays if you want, and you can see Mount Fuji um, at all times of the year.
Have you been to Taco Bell in Japan?
Is that Kylo?
It is Kylo.
Kylo knows well.
Oh.
Yeah, for those who are new, I used to do a just kind of for fun. I used to do this scope every Tuesday called Taco Bell Tuesday. And anyway, I'll just leave it at
that. City Cynic said, an average American coming over to Tokyo that only speaks English, do you think they have any chance of being successful there?
Yeah, yeah. I would like before I met my tour group, my standard answer would have been, "Oh yeah, of course." I mean, you can. I think if you're younger meaning, I don't know. I don't know. We'll say 50 and under. Then yeah, I mean, if you are flexible, you're willing to assimilate, you're willing to learn the culture. Yeah, you can. Um, it'll be about you trying to communicate. A lot of people can speak English, but in general, to a kind of basic level. So yeah, if you're not that flexible, it's going to be hard. If you're more willing to try to communicate and really listen to people, yeah, you can do it. Now, the reason I mentioned that age thing is because I had my tour group, and they're all a little bit older, and yeah, they had a really hard time like engaging with the locals, and they just didn't. That's why they hired me, is they didn't want to really spend time doing that, and so I was just kind of like a translator to to interact with the people at restaurants and shops and buying tickets and all that stuff, and that's perfectly fine with me. That's what I wanted to do, but they just wanted to see the sights, get in, get out, and just not wasting any time messing around with train tickets and talking to people and stuff. So yeah, yeah, if you're open and willing to give it a try, yeah, you can do it.
Nice, I like that. Hey, flyers. I don't know if you see that comment. I'm not going to read it. If you want to answer it, you can. So I do want to say thank you to Wendy for sending the most regular hearts, and thank you to Vito for sending the most super hearts, and thank you to Scott and Steven, Asif, Asif's clone, Lemperito, Jerry, and Mike, thanks for all the super hearts. Let me see. I think we are. Are you worried about radiation from Fukushima? That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a common question that I get. Personally, I'm not worried, but I mean, I tend to avoid. You look at where the food comes from. It's probably not that big of a deal, but if you can avoid it, you should. Why not? So, yeah, I tend to avoid food from that area. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, it doesn't keep me up at night. But yeah, it's definitely a concern.
Yeah, I didn't even think to ask that. That was a good one, director. Thanks for helping me think when I'm all congested like this. So, is there anything that you're promoting besides your Periscope channel? Is there anywhere else people should reach out to you or support you or your channel or anything like that? Yes.
Yeah, just give a follow if you like. If you want to hear about Japan and Tokyo and travel, I also love to talk about travel hacking, collecting miles and points, getting great deals, airfare, hotel, stuff like that. The stay I just did was 4 nights, Kyoto and Osaka, all for free. If you want to learn about that kind of stuff, follow me. Um, Love chatting about that stuff. Also, if you want to learn Japanese, we have a free course. Sign up, ALinTokyo.com/Japanese.
There we go. Awesome. I love that. Do you want to send one last comment before we wrap up? That way they can follow you in case they're late
Oh, yeah.
arrivals.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for coming on. I had a great time. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of it. I'm a little foggy, but I
Oh,
think this went well.
yeah, it was great. Yeah, I'd love to do it again sometime. Maybe
Yes.
after I um, OBS, we can start doing more of this stuff.
Yeah, that could be really fun. Yes, that sounds great. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, both live and on the replay and on YouTube in the future. Hello from the past. Hello, replay viewers. Kylo. Thanks, Kylo, for your help. Remember, everyone, you are all worthy of being loved and feeling comfortable in your own skin. This has been another moment in time with Taylor and Al. Please give him a follow, and I'll be back later whisper reading some Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand.
Thanks, Taylor. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.